This video is for those who are missing the Dealing with Data class. I love this. So we have started quantitative analysis, and first of all we have to figure out how do we actually think about data and deal with it. The objectives. You're going to be able to organize and clean a data set, identify which tools are appropriate for visualization. That'll be about, this will be not in this video, but the next one. And then your assignment will be to take survey data or a data set and run descriptives on it. So that will start with organizing and labeling your survey data and creating visuals for each one. So we are going to be working in Excel. We are not going to use SPSS for this class. We're going to do everything in Excel. So I just want to give you a quick heads up on how Excel works and a couple of tips as we go. So this is the Olympic athletes data set. You have this in Canvas to check out. So here we have name. These are all of our Olympic athletes. Their net worth, their appearances. So you can see that each item, if it was a survey, or each data point is up here. And they are short and sweet names. It's not item 1, item 2, item 3. That's really hard to understand. And then we have activity and gender are both categories that are coded 0 and 1. And we know what those are right here. So summer, winter athlete, activity is they're either active or retired. And then we also have gender is male and female. So we know what 0 means and we know what 1 means. So this right here, these are cells. Columns are our variables. And then the rows are person information. So this is our participant information all the way across. Each cell, that is data. So when we throw around the word data, this is the data that we are looking at. This entire thing, that is a data set. That's some things, some hints as we go through all this new vocabulary. So a couple things I want to point out. If you want to change font size, if you want to highlight anything, if you want to change all of that stuff, that's all on your home screen. You can also merge and center things. You can highlight in a different manner. Insert up here, that's going to be your friend. These are where we're going to get all of our charts, which will be the next video. And then this data tab way up here is really important. Once we enable the data analysis tool, that is right here. And we'll be using that in the upcoming weeks. The other tab that I want you to see is down here. We have other tabs, and we can have multiple data sets within one Excel document. So we can have multiple data sets, and these tabs are going to be down here. When we're using and running different analyses, like sometimes with the visualization and with data analysis tools, it will just open it up into a new tab to get back to your data that's down here. Participant identifiers are incredibly important for you to understand because it is going to determine if you have an anonymous survey or a confidential survey. So an anonymous survey means that there are no personally identifiable information. That means student ID, that means employee ID, social security number you should never have, email addresses. It could even be a URL that links back to the person. None of that should be in here if it's anonymous. If you are keeping personal identifiable data, so if you have names, if you have ID numbers, if you have some kind of thing where you know you can link back to the person, then that is now confidential. You can change ID numbers to be person A, B, C, D, and E, and then you can just have a key somewhere else. So you can give anonymous data to someone else, and then you know how to match them. That would be acceptable as well. Missing data is incredibly important to deal with up front. Most of the analysis that we do need complete data for accuracy. So that means that we can't have missing data in different places. Everything needs to be complete. We can't have any holes. And you don't get to just add a 0 and fill it with something. That's not really how it works. So if we have missingness, and it's bad. It's a lot. We have to figure out what we're going to do. If we have missingness on one variable is missing a lot, then maybe we just don't use this whole variable. Maybe this whole variable is now gone. Or if we have one person that when they did the survey, they just skipped around and didn't answer everything that we needed, then maybe it's this person is removed. So we remove this entire person. That's another option. If you have to keep the variable, you have to keep the observation, then we can consider putting in a value to represent what we think theirs is. That is a little bit tricky because it's not their answer. We're just assuming that this is pretty close to their answer. A couple ways to do it. Some people will just take the variable and create a mean score and input the mean score for that missing person's value, assuming that they're going to act in general on average like everybody else. A better solution would be to run a regression without the missing values, get an equation, and then insert a predicted y value for the missing one that you are dealing with. That will make a little bit more sense in the fall when we talk about regression. There are a lot of different ways that we can do this and handle it, and there are programs that actually do this for you. For now, just know that you can input data. It's not the best option. So I want you to practice cleaning a data set, because when we download data from a survey collection site, whether it's Google Forms or SurveyMonkey or Qualtrics, it's going to give you a lot more information than you need, and it's going to be super messy. So we're going to rename variables, we're going to clean out stuff we don't need, and we're going to include keys for categories and a rating scale for continuous. So if it's a 1 to 4 scale, for a rating scale, what are those for? Is it agree to disagree? Is it a frequency scale? Is it often, sometimes, never? What do those numbers actually mean? So you can, in Canvas, open up the Qualtrics Excel download example. So this is a survey that I did, and it is just a straight download from Qualtrics. That's really gross. So we have start date, which tells me when they started and when they ended. Nobody cares. We have IP addresses. We don't want those in here. Other IP addresses, we don't want that in here. Progress, meaning they completed 100% of the survey. I don't care. Duration, how long did it take them to finish? Don't care. Did they finish? True or false? Yes, they did. We have it. We don't care. Recorded date. So this is when I actually pulled the information. Got it. Don't need that. Response ID. So Qualtrics will give a response ID based on the person. So it's not a name, it's not their ID, it's just a generated ID that Qualtrics does. We don't care. These didn't even come through. We don't care. Location. We don't care. Distribution. So this is how was it distributed? Was it anonymous? Yes, it was an anonymous link. So now I'm getting into the actual questions that I asked. We have Q2. The next one down is what is your major? So I'm just going to type in major. This is for an undergrad class. This one was, did they have a minor? What year are you? So were they a freshman, sophomore? This one was gender, which is technically sex because I only asked male and female. I asked age. So you can see how we're going through all of this. These are also just codes that come through from Qualtrics. So these two rows, once I have all of my questions renamed, I don't need those either. So I now have, once I have done this, I will now have all of my items renamed, all of my variable names, and then this is the raw data. So currently I have labels instead of numbers. We want everything to be numeric. So I'm going to change and make a key. So male, female will go 0 and 1. So I'm just going to go through and everything that is male, I'm going to code a 0. Everything that is female, I'll code 1. Go through all of that. And the same over here. So I have a 1 to 4, strongly agree to strongly disagree. So I'll again create a code over here, Strongly disagree we'll say is 1, disagree is 2, agree is 3, and then strongly agree is 4. And I'm just going to go back through and I'm going to code all of these and make them numeric all the way through. So that's how you're going to start with cleaning up a data set. I really, really, really want you to take a minute and practice cleaning that entire data set. It's very small, but I want you to see what it feels like. So open that in Canvas and give it a try.